didn't go out much. You know, he wasn't very steady on his feet, and I think he'd lost heart.
Oh, probably.
Really.
Yeah. Do you know who we're talking about, Anne?
Yeah.
Have you been to see his stuff?
No, I haven't.
Well, the National Trust run it now, and they've cleaned it up far too much.
What, Rodney Street?
Yeah, but that's the National Trust for it, you know. But at least, you know, the stuff is there, and I don't think ironically, that they emphasise the photography enough.
Really?
Yeah, I'm now part of the advisory group that advises them, and we're gradually bullying them into having, you know, more photography on the walls. But they say, oh, but he didn't have it on the walls when he... Well, yeah, but actually this is the biggest asset.
Point of interest.
You know, people want to see it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, another digression. Okay, so who's going to give the history of visual arts Cheshire?
Alan, do you want to go?
Perhaps if we both lump in then.
There's a little bit in here, isn't there?
We started off because of the London Road studios being closed by Mid Cheshire College.
Yeah.
That was the...
And now sold.
Hello. And now sold, yeah.
Sold to make luxury
to
flats,
developers.
Which was sort of predictable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It has been sold, has it?
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
They've
that was
had
what
planning application in.
That's what people call the Arts College.
Yeah.
So I just saw the notice on it, which still said for sale. So
Oh, really?
No, you didn't see that today, did you?
It was yesterday. Oh, a couple of days ago when I came through.
It's disappeared now. I noticed when I drove past yesterday it wasn't there anymore.
Ah, right. No, I haven't. I didn't come that way today. So.
Yes.
Spotted
Can
this
you
before.
just pass a couple of envelopes as well?
Envelopes coming up.
Yeah. Cheers, Michael.
Thank you.
There's some in the hat inside Michael, if you need the change.
Okay.
Yeah, so with our connection with Mid Cheshire College and the availability of London Road Studios, an empty college, an empty ex-college, the heart of campus had rebuilt
All singing, all dancing.
So they've gone out of London Road. A group of people got together and thought, well, why can't we go in there and turn it into an art gallery? Because that's what its purpose is.
And
Really.
the college was very keen to begin with, apparently.
Yeah, the college were helpful in facilitating that. This is the difficult bit now. We ended up having a bit of a fallout with the leading light in that organisation, who turned out wanted to keep everything for itself, and we effectively were the steering group. So we were allowed to do things like put in bits to the Art Council, but then when an Arts Council person came to talk to us, we weren't allowed to be there. So we said, oh no, this is silly. Don't want to go into that really, but we ended up splitting. They carried on, she recruited some more friends and opened up the place and ran it for a couple of months before the hole in the roof came, meant that the college said, no, okay, everybody out, that's the end of the game really. We said, well, we don't want to walk away from the idea of having an art gallery in Northwich, and actually we quite like it to be within Northwich town centre as opposed to a mile out.
There's nothing like this here in the town centre, and it has never been.
So,
well, a little bit in the library.
You take over from there.
Yeah, so we originally we moved into the building just on the end here. We had a 4-month lease there, a month to do it up. And then as we were applying the last coat of paint, a tenant actually signed the lease, so we knew our days were numbered.
Please, tea,
milk,
no sugar. Milk but no sugar, please. Yeah, thank you.
And then this property was free, so we negotiated a similar lease.
So what timescale are we talking about when you...
That was January, I think we moved in there, opened in the February.
This year?
Yes. Closed, end of April, moved across here, and we've got this building now until the end of December.
Originally it was August, it said in here, I think.
Yes,
it's
been extended, yeah. We're on a quarter rent, was the agreement. Originally it was free for the first initial period. We're on a quarter rent now and 80% rates relief. Um,
And this is owned by the local authority.
it is, but that agreement is only up until after Christmas because they want this to be open for when the Christmas trees switched on outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're not sure whether we'll be able to carry on with that negotiated
They don't have a
rate.
tenant for it though.
They don't have a tenant.
And
Nobody's
that's
been.
presumably why they're happy for you to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's been to look around. The only problem with that agreement, if it was to continue, is that it's on a month's notice. So if they found a tenant who was willing to pay the full price, of course we'd have to move out straight away, which is a little bit problematic when you're trying to plan ahead.
Sure.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
But rates are high for commercial properties in town centre locations.
I don't know much about that. I mean, there's no difference for a commercial enterprise and a non-commercial or not-for-profit organisation.
Well, ooh, don't get me started.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you get, because you do this through Development of the Arts in Northwich.
Yes, which
who
are a
based
charity.
in the library, who are a charity. So they've signed the lease. So that has got you the automatic 80% business rates.
Because we're within their remit. We're kind of furthering the development of the arts in Northwich, so which is why
and that would be the same if you
works.
were one of the charities, St Luke's, or one of these.
Yeah.
It would be the same situation.
Yeah.
Commercially, I mean.
So you get 80% automatically. The other 20% is discretionary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But of course, local authorities are tightening up.
Yes, they used to just ignore it, didn't they? Or sorry,
they used to just get the 100%. The irony now is that, and I don't know if this would apply to you or not, but I've been bitten by this, that last year and this year, through a government scheme, businesses in small offices don't have to pay business rates.
Yeah,
But if you're a charity and you're paying the 20%, you still do, because you have to be tagged as the charity first. That overrides. I have been in touch with my MP about this. Yeah. I've had a letter from the Treasury, but it's not actually getting me anywhere. No.
Yes. Anyway, sorry. Yes, back to the.
So we're volunteer led. There's no paid member of staff. There isn't at the present very much income. Income comes through workshops and through sales of artworks and gifts in this kind of gift shop section. We've had some grants from local councillors.
They're discretionary grants, is it?
Yeah, and we can't be sure that they'll come around again.
No.
Although, to be honest, some of them say that they have difficulty getting rid of their money.
Really?
Well, yeah.
I don't know why. Well, I suppose not that many people would know about it.
That's
it's
true.
Not advertised.
That they've got these pots, small pots of money. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, I got some money for our bridge club from one of them, but
Really?
I had no idea that they had this.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is make a case to them, and
they make.
If they like it, they just cough up.
Yeah. So one of the things that we really need to expand is the levels of fundraising that we're doing, the kind of grants applications and things like that.
Yeah.
We need to improve our marketing, getting people through the door, and then, encouraging them to part with their cash once they're here.
Yeah.
But it's getting them through the door in the first place.
Yeah.
We do have a good following of visitors that are regular now. But we're used as a social space, a bit of a community hub. Those people that are coming regularly are not necessarily, it's not translating into sales.
Buying.
They're not purchasers.
No.
Well,
it's not something people do on a regular basis, is it? I mean, they'll see something and buy it, but that doesn't. Yeah. It's not a.
Except the gift side of it.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what you mean by regular, I suppose.
Yeah.
But repeat business is certainly possible, isn't it? But
yes,
they're not going to come in every week and buy another picture.
No. So one of the properties that we looked at was a cafe, which is based at the other end of the town. We were offered a 6-month free lease on that, which would give us time to build a sustainable plan, hopefully. We just weren't sure whether, because that's a big jump from what we're doing presently, and we're not sure whether we
This was
have
on
the
the edge of
expertise.
Weaver Square,
Um,
do I remember?
no, that was a different property.
Right.
This one is near the marketplace and the banks.
Right.
The problem with that property was that Nick from Dan wasn't so keen on moving down to that end of the town. So we weren't
Right.
sure whether we would still have his support if we
So
went.
this is Nick from the
Yeah,
From
developed
the-
into the arts
from
in Northwich.
Dan.
She's
Yeah.
based in the library next door. Thanks, Alan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so that
Thanks, Al.
we were worried that we would lose him.
Mm.
He didn't say I won't come with you, but he kind of implied it, didn't he? The Julios, Julios.
Yeah, he particularly likes us being very close to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that...
That could be a bit limited.
I know, yeah.
I don't think that should be a reason for us not to choose another property.
No.
But
No.
it is a factor to consider, because we do very well out of it.
Sure.
Yeah. And then there's another property just up the road, which is very, very cheap. It's still in the town centre, but it's slightly tucked away. The problem being it's not hugely fit for purpose. It's very odd layout. There isn't huge amounts of wall space.
It's a house, basically, that used to be a
Oh,
house.
right.
So it's got downstairs, it's got a living room and a kitchen. And upstairs, it's got some bedrooms. And it's a bit small.
Access isn't great,
Access isn't great, it's not visible.
but it's the
You're not
most
selling
affordable.
this.
But
You're not
no,
selling this to
I
me.
know, well, I don't
Certainly
like it, so I'm not
talked
gonna sell it
yourselves
to you.
out.
I'm not gonna, no.
the benefit, the only benefit of that property is that it's so much cheaper than these kind of towns
Yeah, of course.
central.
For good reason.
Yeah.
My view is that our prime business aim is to have an art gallery.
Yeah.
After that, then we want to run workshops. After that, if we've got the right property, we want to have artist studios, because that would help fund the rest of the operation.
Sure.
So,
do you think there are enough artists around that need studio space that would want it in the centre?
There are a lot of artists here. Whether they would want studio space or not is something that we'd have to look at again.
You'd have to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always believed that there would be, but there is another organisation out of town that's offering artist studios now.
Right.
So, and they've just enlarged their premises, and so they've made more slots available.
Yeah.
It could well be argued that now Northwich perhaps has enough space for artist studios.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was kind of always the third thing, and that was only because we needed to be able to fund an operation, and that helps obviously brings money in. This place satisfies 2 out of 3. The first 2, we've got the gallery and we've got room for workshops. Not ideal, but we have got room.
Not
for
tons of
workshops,
room.
and we have done
Do you do
But
them
just
in
about.
that?
No, in here.
In here.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal, but we have done it, and we do it.
When you do workshops, you mean? Can you describe what you mean by workshops?
Yep, so behind you, see these felted dollies?
Right.
We had a workshop where people would come in and they'd spend 10 till 3 making something like that. Or they might, like these wire birds, they might make something similar to that.
And they're paying for this?
They pay for it,
But
yeah.
you have to employ somebody to...
Some of them we'll run ourselves, sometimes we'll employ somebody else, yeah.
So if you do it yourself, it's free,
generally,
presumably?
we do have to pay somebody.
Yeah.
So there's a break-even point. We might, for instance, the felt work, we have to pay £80 for the tutor, which for a full day is quite cheap.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
she's